Hey, welcome to the video where I'll show you how you can budget with the world's only black-owned budgeting app, built for the black community and built to help build black wealth. But before we begin, my name is Stefan. I am the creator and owner of Green Book. I wanted to choose Green Book based off of the Green Book, right? Which was a map for black Americans to safely travel America and know what businesses and other places are safe for them to go during the Jim Crow era. And essentially, I just thought to myself, hey, that is what I'm trying to do with Green Book, is to be a guide to black Americans on how they can build wealth through essentially budgeting and investing. So we'll get right into the video. I'll show you exactly how you can use Green Book to start budgeting. Welcome to Green Book. So I want to get into this. I just finished making the how to use the mobile version of Green Book. I want to show you how to use the desktop version. There is slight differences in how it is made, but we just started a new account here. We're gonna start. I did this last time, the last video. Sorry, what I did last time was I forgot. I had to create a profile stuff. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and hit next. And when you start your account, which most y'all probably already started your account if you're in the Discord. If not, when you come here, it's gonna get a pop up to join the Discord. Join the Discord, right? If you don't know, one, it's gonna give you information about the app and what's going on, the new features. Because this is a MVP, this is a minimum viable. I can never pronounce right product. But it's also one thing that I didn't even mention in the last video is that there is going to be a 70% referral commission or affiliate commission, meaning that when someone pays for the app that you invite, you get 70% of whatever they pay, right? So you can make up to $23 to $70 because there's two tiers currently. But you want to be in the Discord to get that information. So anyway, click that, join Discord, come back here, and this is the front page of Green Book. So what I have here is I have what I call is overviews. It gives you the monthly income, your receive, how much you receive for the month, your total spend, and your remaining. The one cool thing is that when you click on budget, receive turns into left to budget, right? And that little pop up, ignore that, right? It turns to left to budget, and receive disappear. I think that's pretty cool because essentially what it does is, because you're in a budget view, it lets you know how much you need to budget. One thing I have learned is to have a budget where every dollar has a job, right? Every dollar is doing something, and what it's called is a $0 budget, right? So and anyway, from there, you can go to transactions and so forth. But I'll get more into that in a few. So the first thing you want to do to start off with your income, you just want to put in your income source. So let's say Amazon, right? That's what I just said test, but I'm actually kind of like do something there. Um, you put in your amount and you pick your frequency, right? Now, frequency is important. It's important because it does the math for you. Let me say this. The way my wife and I budget and figure out how much we make, so if your income fluctuate and you don't get a salary, the best way to determine how much you make is you take at least minimum four paychecks and how much you made and divide it by four. That is how you find the average. For those who don't know what average or how you do the average math is, we all have different things, and math is kind of my thing, right? Essentially, what you're doing is you're grabbing, so you grabbing a total number or a specific amount of numbers, right? So, for instance, you grab 4 months of how much you got paid, right? You add those together, and then you divide it by how many numbers you added, right? If that makes sense. I can't teach it. I know how to do it. Anyway, so if you got 5 months of your income, you're divided by five, right? So you add 5 months of your income, you divide it by five, and you add 6 months, you divide it by six, right? And that's how you get your average, right? Now, I say that the next part to that is just this, right? If it's monthly, just put in your monthly amount, right? So after you do that, if it's bi-weekly, this would do the math for how much it would be a month if it's bi-weekly. If you get paid weekly, this will automatically do the math for how much it is a month, right? And if it's daily, you get paid daily, this would do the math on how much a month you would make based on you get paid daily. So this does the math for you. So after you get that rough sum, so once again, if you get paid daily, you'll take um 7 weeks or maybe 30 days, right? You'll take 7 weeks of your income and you divide it by seven, right? And you'll get your amount, right? So let's say we get paid um let's say after doing the average, we get paid um $800 daily, right? We get paid. That's a lot of money, right? Um, that's coming for somebody. So you get paid $800 daily. You hit add income, and that's big money. Let's say now you so that means you make $24,000 a month, right? Hey, real quick, if you are watching this and you have yet to actually start using the app yourself, or you're not even in the Discord, just go ahead to getgreenbook.com where you can get access to the app for free and you can start budgeting with Greenbook. Anyway, I just want to thank you, and I'll go back to the video so you can continue to learn how to start budgeting with Greenbook. And let's say you're married and the wife makes um let's say she makes 650, 620. I'll type 620. 620 weekly, right? You add income, right? So altogether for the whole month you make $27,000. From here, you can see it shows you how much you receive, but you also have this what I call action buttons. So you can just go ahead and click that, and that's how you can edit, delete, or add any income. What I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna modify this because I want a smaller number to work with for the rest of the video. So let's just say edit. I'm afraid that's not gonna work out right. Okay. So that's actually a bug. That should not happen that way. So I do need to edit that. But anyway, this is what I love about just having y'all. Because someone should have told me that that didn't work, embarrassing me in this video. Anyway, so that's not working. I'll fix that. That should say edit income. So I know something is going on there. That button's not activated. Anyway, you can edit, delete income there, right? From there, you go to your budget. Now, once again, this is I like how this is. So now you can see this monthly income updated. The remaining you have to spend for the month updated. When you hit budget, left to budget, right? So you need to budget $27,000. Um, so these categories are pre-installed. I need to change that too. Um, is pre-installed. You can delete the budget line items, is what I call it. You can't change the categories. I'm not sure if people really need to add any categories. If you feel like adding categories is a needed thing, let me know if that's a feature you want, and I'll add that in. But this should be enough categories to get the essentials, right? Anyway, you can see planned, spent, remaining, in progress. For those who saw the mobile version, obviously this is just the view is different from mobile, of course, right? But you hit here and you can just say, okay, I plan to give 10% of this would be $2,702. All right, so that's how much we're going to give to the church, right? And we add the item, and your plan and remaining is there, right? Maybe you don't give the charity, right? So you can delete that. You can delete that line item, or maybe you want to add in a line item. So you hit add item. Let's go back to giving. Let's say mom, right? Gotta take care of mom. So you give her $200 a month. Right? So that's in there. I realized that I didn't show the mobile people how to add items, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Is that you just hit add item, right? Um, if anybody that came from mobile watching this also. So anyway, you have your remaining here. And then from there, you can add your transactions. You can manually add your transactions, or you can automatically get your transaction added with Link bank account. Currently, link bank account is not released yet. It's gonna be released super soon, like within a week, right? Today's May the 17th. It's already been developed. It's working. I just have to switch over some stuff for the live version. But essentially, you'll be using. So what we use is Plaid. Your information is safe. We don't store your bank account information. Plaid handles all that stuff. For those who don't know what Plaid is, it pretty much helps links financial information to apps. Like big financial institutions use this, and but yes, but that brings me to the fact that this right here, if you want to automatically add your transaction, what I suggest, it is going to be a fee for that. For those who have seen the homepage and saw how much it would cost, that cost might change later on depending on when you're watching the video. But that is one of the main things that's going to pay for because it costs money to for Plaid to do this service for me. So this will be a cost for you. However, I may or may not do a free trial. I'm not sure if I'll do a free trial of that, right? But that's not going to stop you from budgeting. You can still add your own transactions here. You can see you got expenses. Let's say we go on roller skating. I can't type today for some reason, right? I need to slow down. Roller skating, right? Maybe you went roller skating with your kids. Um, it was like 50 bucks. You know what? They got some food too. So 80 bucks. And we're gonna do fun money. We got that. So these are different categories you can choose from. Um I don't know. Uh let's just say self-care. 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 Okay. Self-care. So these budget line items right here, these are right. These are these categories right here. Right. So you have different categories or different budget line items that you can choose from. So that's what's happening there. So we are going to do, I'm just gonna say mom because I know it's there, right? Um, you know, this is part of mom's $200, for her to take out the kids, right? You can choose your date. Let's say they went out on Monday. I paid her this money through Cash App or something like that. I hit add expense. Um, and then once that's there, you can see that you have your date, the type of transaction was, the merchant, which is, roller skate, amounts, category self care, and what I call action items. It's just what's budget line item, right? So once that gets added in there, you can see some of y'all probably noticed it. This got updated, your total spend. So that get updated and right here. So mom, right? Um, spent right 800 bucks. I actually might want to turn that red when I think about it for visual cues. Anyway, plan we spent 80 bucks, remaining $125 or $120 for the month, right? That we have to give to her, right? Anyway, and then from there you can also just add in your income. So maybe you got paid. Um, let's say the wife got paid. She got a bonus this week. Shout out to the wifey. Um, $900, extra 900 bucks for the week, and you can choose the date that she got paid. This day's payment. You hit add income, and then we got wifey's income there. So wife's income is there. You can come here and you can see that this changes, right? She received 900 and this up here changes, right? So you got paid $900 for the month. Um, and so yeah, you can just add in your transactions. You can choose which month you want to add your transactions in, or what happens is, which I suggest is you automatically get your bank accounts link by linking your bank account through Plaid. Once again, this feature is not out right now, but it will be out super soon, like next couple days. Um, but what happens is once those transactions come in, you can easily just just hit this right here and add it in the transaction, right? You want to hit that um, and just add transaction, right? Same thing for income. Your transaction come in for a income, your income, you say it's from Amazon, right? And then once again, that updates there for you. And yeah. And then from there, um, one thing I forgot to mention when it comes to budgeting, and I mentioned it a little bit, you want to budget every dollar. So let's just say emergency fund, for some reason, we don't got to pay anything. We have this much money left over out of all that, and then it's an emergency fund. So I left the budget at $0, and we know that every dollar is accounted for. Every dollar has a place. Every dollar has a job, right? And then from there, you can come back here each month, take a look at it, see where you're at for the month, and pretty much take control of your spending and your budgeting and just your life, right? This literally helps you in life. And then the last thing, if you want to create a new budget, you just simply pick the month you want to create a budget for. Let's say that you make one for June. This automatically pops up. You hit create June budget, and then when you create June's budget, you can see that it adds in the income that you already placed from last month. It also keeps any budget items from last month. Any modifications you added, like the remaining and everything else. Of course, they don't add in the spent and um, the transactions for June. There's no transactions for June, but let's say there's some in May. You can change it to May if you want to. But once the June transaction come in, you do it that way. Um, However, I'm curious on something on my end, right? Let's say this was actually a June transaction. I am super curious, right? So that leaves. Okay, yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that I set it up right. Anyway, your total spent for June, right? Maybe that transaction was wrong. Your total spent for June is now $80, and that. Oh, you have to categorize it though, right? So let's say this was the mom transaction. We gave money to mom, and boom, bada boom, bada bam. Um, we're all set. So anyway, thank y'all once again. Thank y'all for one, like, congrats to you for wanting to take control of your expenses, your finances, your budgeting, your future. I do believe budgeting is literally a foundation of building wealth. It's just knowing where your money's going. You can't invest unless you have money, right? You know, like you can't invest unless you know that you have money to invest. And I really feel like this is going to change a lot of families' lives, just especially in our community, because our community don't really teach budgeting like that. But anyway, other than that, that is it. There's gonna be more features that come out like this right here. There's more like little buttons that's hidden that you can't see. Um, so much more stuff that's gonna come out. One of the main things that I'm gonna add and like is really the core of this app of Green Book is having uh, a leaderboard and a point system where you get points for just creating a new budget each month, right? Adding in transactions, like doing the things you're supposed to do. Logging in each week to look at what you're doing, or logging in daily. I'm not sure how I want to do it, right? You'll get points for that. There'll be a leaderboard. You'll be able to invite your friends to budget also with you, so y'all can like kind of friendly competition on who's sticking to their budget. And also what I call missions. You have missions like weekly, daily missions where it's like don't spend for the day. If you complete it, you'll hit yes, whatever, and you get points for that. But it's gonna be a fun experience. It's a real fun experience to kind of uh, build the budgeting habits we need to in order to be successful at this. So, other than that, I just want to thank y'all again. I just pray a blessing over y'all and y'all have a blessed day.